everybody doing today? Here we have a 2016 Jetta, 159,000 miles. Now keep in mind I am not a VW tech and do not work on many of them. This thing has got plenty of codes. And that one is probably definitely still going to be a concern. There's a few of them in there that's still going to be a concern. But the oil is thin as can be, black as can be. This is the oil separator what I'm going to be changing. And I told them, you know, change this out, change the oil because it's got timing codes. Change that oil, change this oil separator, and then we'll drive it and see what all codes come back. My opinion, there's just too many to, especially to squeeze into an hour diagnosis. But so there's a TSB, you know, for this thing, and it says, or what I did, it says to block off the port right here. So I just loosened all this up, stuck a piece of thin plastic up under here. When I say thin, I mean it was a piece of a quart of oil. I cut out a piece of the quart of oil, so it wasn't real thin. And then I tightened this back down with that port blocked off. And it says if it smooths out and runs good, then to replace this oil separator. So it was like, you know, up and down on the idle. And I put that piece of plastic in there, tightened it back down, and it ran smooth. So we will see. Now, if somebody that works on a lot of these is watching this, they might say I'm doing something crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. And hey, you could be right. You could be right. This is not a vehicle that I work on a lot. But like I said, it had timing codes. There's oil everywhere. So I'm hoping that fresh oil will take care of some of the timing codes. Now it did have a coil circuit code, so it might still have a bad coil. I think it had some O2 codes. Yeah. Well, anyways, so I'm going to change this. So basically the video is just how to change this little thing. But I'm going to change it, and then I will go drive it again and see what comes back and see. Their main concern was getting it running better. I am pretty confident that one of these coils or something is bad because it does have that coil circuit code. So I probably should have dug into that a little bit, but I didn't. That says cylinder disabling electrical fault in cylinder P130A00. Of course, it's got all 4 misfire codes. Cylinder pressure too high. I'm not really sure what that means unless it is like the timing being off, and I don't know. So all right, well, let's get this thing changed out, and hopefully it takes care of a lot of stuff. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, on my test drive, I did not feel a dead miss, so maybe I didn't drive it far enough to get that coil to act up. So, all right, first we want to take off our grounding wires for our coils. 10 millimeter here. I'm just using a little thin wrench. Then get on that bottom. And take the 2 bolts out of the coils. Now we got a T30. Take all these T30s out of the oil separator. Just pry that back out of there. I was hoping I could get that out of there without removing the coils, but it don't look like it.
Fucking warm out here.
Yeah, feels pretty good out today. I'd pry off the little hose from the purge valve. And I just took out number 4 coil and loosened up number 3. And there it is. And I am not sure what goes bad inside of there. Like I say, I don't work on these very often. And this car, it's liable to have a ton more problems even when I'm done with this. You know, with the timing codes and everything, but that oil looks so bad up here we had to do an oil change, and that test, the way the TSB read, proves that this is bad, so it's where we got to start. And if anybody's got something to say, you know, comment if there's something else I should be doing or checking. That way I'll know in the future. I was just barely snugging them down with the electric, and then go over them by hand. back side there. And it takes that coarse thread T30. And we'll put our coil back down in there. And I might be pulling these right back out here in a little bit after I go on a test drive if I have a misfire still. Your little wires and your 10mm nuts back on there. Get your hose back on there from your purge valve. Clamp back on there. All right, now I gotta change the oil. Okay, we got a 32mm for our oil filter there. There's the oil filter number, or it corresponds with a PG 8161.
Of course, take your O-ring off there. Put your new one. Now that gasket did not come with a new O-ring for that. Get that thing wet with oil. Now get the oil down there.
All right, we got a T45 here for our drain plug.
Nasty.
That's just an O-ring that seals that transfer case in, right?
Yeah.
The hell is this?
That'll be an inner.
So this goes behind the plate.
No, that goes on the, it's a sealed transfer case. So I wasn't gonna pull it out and fix that leak without replacing that.
So this is on the transfer case?
Yeah.
That rear shaft?
No, it should be, you got the transfer case out?
Well, I just...
Now this thing has got some serious leaks. I mean, this was just covered in oil. Everywhere. Needs to be degreased. Maybe put some dye in it or something. All right, let's start this thing up. Where's my oil cap? There it is. Boy. All right. It's like about a quart weight.
It's got a couple partial, little partial jugs left here. No. No.
All right. Filled up. All right. There's no engine codes right now. No check engine light. I took it on a 15-mile test drive, and then I come back and shut it off for a while, and I took it on a 5-minute test drive. I'm gonna take it on one more 10-mile test drive. And if nothing comes up, I'm giving it back to the customer. No codes in the engine. I figured for sure we're gonna get some codes. And this thing had freaking 25, 30 codes in it. And it had a PO420. I think it had an O2 sensor code in there, all misfires. It had an ignition, basically an ignition coil circuit code. But I didn't feel any misfires on the test drives. It's sitting here idling smooth.
American Idol, Katy Perry, joked about it.
Come on now. So, all right, I'm gonna take her on one more test drive, see if any check engine light or codes pop up, and then give it back to the customer and let them drive it a while and see if they want to do anything else to it. All right, well, I've driven it approximately 30 miles. I would say at least 2, are long enough. 2 of the trips are long enough to consider a drive cycle. Still don't have any codes. That I cannot believe that no codes have come back. And I fully believe that maybe on the next drive cycle, something might come back, the PO420 or something. But I haven't felt any misfires. But how many times do you drive a vehicle, after I've definitely already not wasted, but spent another 45 minutes that I'm not getting paid for in all these drive cycles. So anyways, I'm gonna give it back to the customer. Now they might not come and pick it up till tomorrow, probably not, so late in the day. So I might, if it's still here, which it probably will be in the morning, I might fire it back up and go drive it one more time. But basically I'm just gonna give it back to them and let them drive it. And if anything pops back up and they want it addressed, we can address it then. So, all right, well, I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.